Good afternoon and welcome everyone. My name is Aishwarya Singh and I'm your host for this event, ladies and gentlemen. PMS AIF World presents Confluence of Top Portfolio Managers in India, and the theme for this very important event is COVID-19 to Investments 21. Now, before we begin, let me introduce myself to all of you. I have been a live show presenter and host for the last 12 years, and the stage has always beckoned me. It has always been immensely gratifying to deliver meaningful content to my audiences. But 2020 changed it all for my profession. My world became virtual, and the only way forward was to embrace this change. And here I am, ladies and gentlemen, hosting an enormously prestigious virtual confluence of top portfolio managers in India. PMS AIF World is an alternates focused, new age investment services company that provides content and analytics backed quality investing service by distributing well analyzed PMS and AIF products and offering investment service along with in depth information for investors, in fact, to make informed decisions, not just before investing, but throughout the wealth creation journey. Now, PMS AIF World analyzes PMS and AIF products across 5 Ps. These are very important Ps, ladies and gentlemen. People, philosophy, performance, portfolio, price, with an endeavor to ascertain the quality, risk, and consistency, QRC attributes before offering the same to investors. PMS AIF World has been an original thinker in the space of India's alternates, such as their annual awards for PMS and AIF in association with IIM Ahmedabad, their monthly newsletters, which take up topics close to investors and show their analytical acumen representing the top strategies across time periods instead of just showing data. Now, their content and analysis lead investment ideas through regular fund manager interactions via webinars, and not just webinars, they spread knowledge on how the fund managers think about investments and markets. The markets have seldom been so dramatic in the recent memory. A market crash like we have never seen, followed by a stellar rally that very few had imagined. And now what seems like very few will forget. The investors who participated in this rally tell the tale of having conviction in good businesses, and the spectators have tried to understand the way the equity markets work. As we may label the affairs of the stock market in the last year as unique, what we need to understand is that while the cause or the magnitude of the market crash and revival are new, the nature and market behavior is not very different. In the words of Mr. Kamal Manocha, founder and CEO of PMS AIF World, 2 things are important to learn and remember. Firstly, equities are a friend of the ones who spend time in the market holding equity businesses and holding very quality businesses, in fact. And this fact that hasn't changed from years 2008 to 2020. Secondly, quality businesses over time have some traits that do not change no matter when you look at them. Thus, investors who remain invested in such businesses, they are the ones that build wealth. However, investors often ask 2 common questions, especially today. The first one is, what should be the approach to investing after this stellar rally? And what are the businesses or themes in the post-COVID world? In this confluence of top portfolio managers in India, ladies and gentlemen, the team at PMS AIF World takes the baton to get real solutions to such real questions by very revered portfolio managers. And our endeavor is to assist you with the knowledge-backed approach to participate in the roaring recovery of India. This event has 5 partners, ladies and gentlemen. Let me highlight them before we begin. And I have to also thank them very much. Title partner, ASK Investment Managers Limited. Co-partners, Axis Asset Management, Motilal Oswal Asset Management, Value Quest Investment Advisors, and White Oak Capital Management. So I'd like to thank all of them very, very much. Now, without further delay, I'd like to take the privilege of inviting Mr. Kamal Manocha, the CEO of PMS AIF World, to come on, share a few words and a welcome note, and set the context for this event. Mr. Manocha, please open the show.
Thank you, Aishwarya. What a wonderful start. Welcome, everyone, to this insightful event. We have planned it really well. And I would just like to add a few more words to what Aishwarya had said to set the context of this event. Year 2020-21 has been a reminding year for all of us to understand that equity is the mother of all asset classes when it comes to returns. But the unfortunate truth is that most of us do not realize the full potential from equity because we view equity from the lens of risk first and not returns. Risk is not bad, but it is important to comprehend risk. In the words of one of the famous gurus, Mr. Warren Buffett, risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. This is one of the very famous quotes that Warren Buffett had once said. So we at PMS AIF World firmly believe it is important to comprehend risk. However, wealth is not created by thinking too much about risk. Wealth is created by focusing on returns. And that is exactly what our endeavors have always been about, when we are doing such events, where whether it was a year like 2020, where we saw COVID, or now when we have, everyday market rising, we want to comprehend risk, but we do not want to spend too much time on risk. We want our investors to focus on returns. I, bring with me 15 years of experience. I started my career in 2005. And over the last 16 years, I have seen Sensex growing from 5,000 levels to 50,000 levels today. I can tell you with all my qualification background, with my experience, in next 5 years or next 10 years, we will see further heights. We will see maybe by 2025, 26, Sensex rising to levels of maybe 1 lakh. There is no point predicting these levels, but the fact is there is an immense opportunity for investors to build wealth. The only thing that needs is the change in the perspective. One should not focus on risk. One should comprehend risk, but one should focus on returns. I would like to correlate this with a Hindi movie, to just set the context, because this is the most important point that we deal with, when we interact with clients on daily basis. There is a very famous movie by name Lagan. That movie says that on one side, there are poor villagers who are made to play an impossible cricket match with Britishers on the other side. Villagers are absolutely under doubt because they do not want to play this match. They have a doubt of missing out. If they do not play this match, they are under a trouble of paying 2x of the Lagan. If they play this match and they are defeated in this match, then they pay 3 times the Lagan. The situation is exactly similar to all of us as retail investors. If we do not invest into equities, we will have to face fall in the real value of money because inflation will lead that. If we invest in equities and ultimately we lose out, we get defeated, we will have to lose tax paid capital, which is absolutely not desirable. But does that mean that those villagers don't play, that game, or does that mean we don't take that, plunge of investing into equities? The answer is no. There is a dialogue of that movie where one of the villagers talks to Amir Khan and he says, under doubt, and this is exactly the conversation that we have with our clients every day, especially now when markets have risen. That the villager says, Bhuvan, tu apne haath mein gili mitti pakad raha hai. So basically, he's trying to highlight his doubt that, you are being too confident about, playing this match, we may miss. And what Bhuvan replies, he says, bharosa rakh, sach aur sahas hai agar tere man mein, to teri jeet hamesha hogi. So that is exactly the point. When it comes to investing into equities, what is really required is truth and conviction, which is sach and sahas. And this is exactly what we define as mantra for wealth creation, which is first, comprehend risk, then focus on returns, third, invest in right businesses, which is truth, invest in right businesses, and fourth, hold high conviction. And these are the 4 pillars, these are the 4 facts which we are going to cover in this entire event today and tomorrow. And this is what has to be repeated always. And that is the value add that we exactly bring for our clients. And the fact that last year when markets were down, we had maintained optimistic conscious stance, and we ensured that a lot of our clients invested was only because of our belief, and our belief remains. And with all these words, I would like to now hand it over back to Aishwarya for her to start this event. Back to you, Aishwarya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manocha. I have to say, you have given us an exemplary beginning. And I'd like to thank you very much for the welcome speech and for setting the tone for the day, but mostly for motivating us. Truth and conviction is what we need, has been said, ladies and gentlemen, by Mr. Kamal Manocha. And I'm very grateful for this very wonderful beginning.